It's fueled by stupidity.
But that's not stupidity, that's fraud.
Tell me the difference between stupid and illegal, and I'll have my wife's brother arrested.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Pre-Accident Investigation Podcast Safety Moment. I'm your host, Todd Conklin. So we started with a clip from the movie The Big Short. And I'm not really, I've never really recommended a movie to you before, but I need to talk to you about this movie a little bit. So this movie's got a set of Jenga blocks right in the middle of it. Actually, it's a very prominent part of the story. And they use these Jenga blocks to explain the housing crisis and the way they bundled loans together. And probably 900 million people have either called me, talked to me, or sent me an email to tell me about this Jenga block scene. So I went to the movie. And here's what I'm going to tell you. You probably ought to go to this movie, because this movie is probably one of the most interesting discussions around complex failure, honesty, accountability, and violation that I've ever seen. And as a person interested in the new view, as a person interested in seeing safety and reliable systems differently, this movie is an incredible experiment in how to look at, understand, and imagine very, very, very complex systems and how human behavior, greed, opportunity, money, all these things play into the system. And I think it's worth your time seeing this movie. You can do what you want. Certainly don't take advice from me, but just looking at how they talk about and understand this horrific part of our history and what we did or didn't learn. That's my challenge to you. Because my biggest premise, the number one tool you have to actually build a reliable system in your organization is your organization's ability to learn and improve. And what you're going to see is that learning and improving is a very difficult part of this discussion for this movie. It's called The Big Short. It's up for an Academy Award. And I think the very best thing to tell you to do is drop into a theater, buy a $19 box of popcorn, sit back and see what you think. Hit me with your response. I'd be curious as to what you have to say. But I can tell you one thing. If learning and improving were an outcome of what happened, I think we failed. And I think so many times we fail to learn, we fail to improve. And I think we ought to talk about why. And that's what this movie does. That is the weirdest pre-accident investigation safety moment known to mankind, but it's one you ought to think about. Thanks for the clip, movie guys. It certainly made the beginning of this fun. As always, learn something new every day. Have a great time, and for goodness sakes, be safe.